So, y'all, what I did was, if it's about nature, I'm most likely talking about it. So, I am in love, totally in love with houseplants, large houseplants, greenery, everything to do with nature in my home to bring in that peace and balance. Now, some folk keep a houseplant in their home just to have like a splash of color or a bit of nature in their interior spaces, right? But houseplants, if you don't know, can have a huge, very huge impact on the look as well as the feel of your home. Incorporating them into your interior space is a great way to add like a dash of drama without making like any permanent changes to your interior space. Now, if drama is what you're looking for, add a obscenely large houseplant. You want the ones that produce the huge, impressive leaves. Whether you're working with like a bare minimalist room that needs a very bold statement, or maybe you're working with a bold statement, busy, crowded type of space. There are plenty leafy plants to choose from. But the bad news is choosing them is a challenge. I promise you. Today, I'm giving you 12 obscenely large leaved houseplants to put in your home. This gorgeous Brazilian plant grows to an impressive 3 feet in height and produces dozens of huge striped leaves that make a very lasting impression. They're tropical, so they would do best in partial shade and high humidity, making them ideal for a terrace or a deck in a warm area. They probably won't thrive in a completely indoor area unless you keep your house like a sauna. With that being said, they don't require too much care, just some light watering when their soil is dry and a good dose of fertilizer now and then. The best part, the prayer plant moves as if praying to the light. This next beauty is the African mask plant, and this particular plant can be difficult to grow indoors. They're tropical, they like high humidity and warm temperatures, but if you put in the time and effort, your reward is one of the most dramatic plants you can have in your home. Growing as high as 6 feet in size, the African mask plant produces absolute units of leaves with dramatic veining and a delightful purple underside. They don't like direct sunlight, and the soil should be kept moist at all times. Keep in mind, this plant is toxic to pets, so it's not appropriate for the folks with curious critters roaming around their homes. Okay, so this next beauty is known as the Swiss cheese plant. This is a popular plant for its distinct look. These climbing evergreen plants have huge leaves with splits that give them a spidery, unique look. Now, caution, they don't like direct sunlight, but need some light exposure, require a little misting from time to time, and a good drainage in their pots. Your reward will be a plant that spreads around your space, offering its enormous leaves for all the visual interest you could possibly want. This next plant, the aesthetic of this plant, I just love oh so much, but it is another plant that's toxic to pets. The elephant ear plant is one of the easiest big leaf indoor plants to grow. In fact, they don't need much attention at all. Keep them out of direct sunlight, water regularly, but don't soak the soil or the roots will rot. And your elephant ear will grow like gangbusters, spreading out with large arrow-shaped leaves that reach up for the sun. They can reach as high as 8 feet, making them an excellent choice if you're looking for leafy wow factors. I'm guessing you've probably seen this plant often. This here is the Majestic Palm. This one is safe for plants. It is like having a bit of paradise in your home. Now be warned, These majestic plants can grow as tall as 10 feet high if given the chance, so make sure you have the room before committing. They should stay out of direct sunlight, but only need watering about 2 to 3 times a month. They produce a gorgeous, generous arching fronds that will sway and ripple in any sort of breeze, reminding you of that trip to the tropics. They do like high humidity, but can do well even if you like it a bit drier inside. I'm going to just let y'all know right now, this one here just makes me giddy in the inside. Look at this beautiful plant. This is a Ruffled Fan Palm. And it is a great choice for a big leaf plant because of the beautiful and unusual shape of its leaves. Look at these leaves, y'all. They resemble a classic handheld fan with serrated edges. Be careful though, as they're actually quite sharp. The leaves can grow to almost 2 feet wide, and the plant itself is pet friendly. The pleated leaves are such a unique visual look. They bring a bold dash of visual interest to any room. They stand out even in crowded, busy designs. They don't need much light, don't need warm temperatures, and only need moderate watering. One thing to note is that they are slow growers, so you'll need to put in some time before you're rewarded with their gorgeous leaves. Now, if you want a pop of color along with enormous leaves, the Birds of Paradise plant is your best choice. Not only do the bold green leaves grow to as much as 18 inches long, in full sun, the plant will produce beautiful orange and blue flowers. The flowers grow pretty fast too, producing a leaf per month on average, so you'll get some dramatic coverage pretty quickly. This plant can eventually get as tall as 6 or 7 feet with a 4-foot spread, so you'll need to ensure you have space for it to thrive. It is toxic to pets and people actually, so it's not ideal for a household with animal friends or small children. While it requires rich, acidic soil, it doesn't need much by way of daily care, making it relatively easy to enjoy indoors. This next one is the Calathea White Fusion. If you long for big leaves but don't have a lot of space, the white fusion plant is a good choice because it rarely grows more than a few feet tall. Although it likes humid conditions, it doesn't require much work. A good amount of sun plus enough water to keep the soil damp on top will do it. Because the white fusion likes humidity and is so small in size, it's a great plant to keep in the bathroom. Otherwise, you might need to keep your humidifier going to avoid drying it out too much. But all that work is worth it. Its leaves are gorgeous. They're large and streaked with white and green with a purple underside that peeks out to provide contrast in your home. Why not go classic with an old school favorite that's very easy to care for and produces leaves that can be more than a foot long? Now, the rubber tree can grow pretty tall, as high as 10 feet, and grows pretty fast, so be prepared. This actual rubber tree, I did recently see it for purchase at Trader Joe's. The lush, deep green leaves will spread out nicely, producing a dramatic effect. While you'll need to be careful because the tree is toxic to animals and people, it makes up for that by being one of the easiest plants that you'll ever care for. Give it some indirect light and keep the soil moist, and you'll soon have an enormous plant shading your room. You should consider repotting every year or so because of the plant's rapid growth, however. All right, next up is the Tropic Snow Dumb Cane. Yes, I said it. Although toxic to people and pets, it is one of the easiest leafy plants to care for. It can grow up to 10 feet tall and sprouts absolutely enormous leaves with a distinct light green rib pattern. You can more or less neglect these plants and they will find a way to survive. But they will do best if you water them once in a while when the soil is dry and keep them in bright light. Just make sure you have high ceilings because this plant likes to stretch up. Now, I knew I couldn't get through this whole entire video without talking about the snake plant. If light is an issue in your space, the snake plant is a great choice. Growing as high as 8 feet tall with large blade-like leaves with white and light green striping, this plant thrives in low light conditions. You can particularly put it in a closet and it will still grow. It only requires watering once or twice a month, and the vertical nature of its leaves makes it an ideal choice for a room without much floor space or any space where you want to draw the eye upward. Okay, guys, what did you think about those super large leafy houseplants that I gave you? Honey, if it's something to do with me, I love a good house plant, especially a running plant. I just love house plants. It brings in the shade to your home. It cleanses a lot of energy. It just gives you that peaceful nature inside of your home. So guys, I hope this helped you. Go out and look for that plant. A lot of these plants you can purchase from Lowe's, Home Depot. Trader Joe's is great on houseplants as well. That is probably my top store I go to for my houseplants, and just vibe out with them, talk to them every day. My houseplants are actually my house babies. Those are my plant babies. I love my plants and they grow when you show them love. I promise you. Let me know in the comments what other plants are great for the home. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, support, and share my channel. It is greatly appreciated. When I get to 100 more followers, I always toast you guys and thanks and give you blessings of love and abundance. I really appreciate each and every one of you who subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Again, if you need anything, I have in my store, I do have an online botanica. It's visionsbyvasori.com. Link is in the bio. Go check it out. Love y'all. Have a good and amazing night. Ashe.